Holy another incredible performance by Aoyuki. She's just so perfect for this role. Like, she literally she is Capella. It's like Kendra Suda is like a Yakuza character. Like, Aoyuki is this twisted person. Like, her voice, when it comes across in this way, is almost like it's the embodiment of, I love to twist this thing and I'm going to laugh doing it. That's Aoyuki's voice when she's doing this type of role. And she's just, again, she's perfect at it. So freaking good. I love it. But anyways, episode 76 of Re:Zero. Really, really good episode. Pretty much this point, confirming my speculation around Subaru being hit in some way by gluttony. Either it's Rui or it's Lai. Now, the question mark, the big, like, what the heck's going on moment for this entire episode is really, is he replaced? Is this a different body? Is this Lai disguising himself as Subaru? Is it Rui disguising herself as Subaru? She can do that. We've seen Rui do that. Is one of them replacing him and every now and then switching over to this self that doesn't know the current time Subaru? Or is it like a memory-consumed Subaru that's just trying to get around, and every now and then they're able to inject themselves into him and take control? Because as we've seen, that whole scene with Melee in the archive, that wasn't Subaru. That wasn't past Subaru. It wasn't current Subaru. That, damn sure, was one of Gluttony's. One of the Gluttony's. Because the personality was so much like, I think it was Lai. One of those two. That personality was there. And now it could be Rui. We just haven't really seen that much of Rui, but it's one of them. It was one of them looking at Melee and going, that expression that you have looks super tasty. I'm like, God, that is totally them. And the idea of taking all your burdens, taking everything that you're suffering with, let me take it. Let me take it. It was them. It was totally them. Now, again, to what Ram's asking at the very end there, you copy or whatever, you fake. I don't know. There's a possibility that Subaru got left behind somewhere. We're going to find out that he never even left the mansion way back there. He's way back at the town. That way back there, they took over. Now, I don't think it's going to be the case. I think it's more recent. Like I said before, I think it is the point in which he went up to the archive to find out a way to take out Raid. I think that, because that was our perspective. Our perspective, he was fine up until that point. He went up there. Again, I'm presuming. He went up there, and that was the point which, he collapsed or whatever. And it could be the same time in which Melee came up there. Melee came up there to ask, see the whole book, runs into him, runs away, comes back to seemingly want to kill him. And that was the point which he was consumed. He got his memories replaced, and now suddenly they're like, oh, yeah, let me take those burdens from you, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And again, he collapsed after that. That's the question mark. That is the question mark. That is where I'm kind of going with this. But anyways, let's get the episode proper, going through scene by scene, and I'll get to my full thoughts as we go through it, like usual. But yes, opening up the episode with Subaru when he, again, snaps to it and realizes that Melee's dead there and is freaking out about the cuts on his arm. I like the emphasis there of, like, this etching. It wasn't there before. Now it's here. So is this a sign that the Subaru that's inside of me took over, killed her, and he's always been a killer this entire time? I like this entire episode as this question mark of, like, if the Subaru that I'm replacing, if he is a killer like this, if he was willing to kill this girl right here, like, how do all these people love him so much? Like, what did he do to gain their trust? They're covering up his kill. Like, even later on, like, it's insinuating that Shala is getting rid of the body. She's like, don't worry, Master. I got it covered. I'll take care of it for you. Like, she's literally like a doggy that's like, don't worry, Master. I'll take the body and go bury it behind the shit. Roof, roof. Like, best girl, by the way. Shala in this episode is like total best girl. Like, this is wrong, by the way. It's extremely wrong, the idea that she's willing to cover up a murder. But again, that's the loyalty. That's the loyalty right there. That she's willing to go off the cliff with him. All she's asking for is a couple children. Wasn't it like 3 children or something like that? One that's a girl, one's a boy, one that could be either one or something like that. But anyways, that aside. He's trying to figure out, like, why these people love him so much when he's done these horrible things. Like, how did he trick these people or whatever is basically what they're asking there. But no, this entire part right here, him freaking out, saying, holy crap, when did he etch this in his arm? Did he kill her, then do this? But I think the more interesting question mark here is, like, who is he? Like, who is this Subaru? And if he really is Subaru that is deep inside me that has come out, then what am I? It is legit the identity crisis. He is having an absolute identity crisis. Like, before, you can probably, brush it off as the idea that, yes, there was a Subaru in this world, and then time paradox, you're now entering the world again. And this is implying the idea that you may never have existed to begin with, and there's always been the actual Subaru there, and you're just a cheap copy that was made at some point. I mean, to what Rem was asking at the very end, a fake copy. This little cheap copy that's kind of popped up. But either way, having a little bit of a identity crisis right here. Now, I feel like there was probably something lost here in the transition, or at least the adaptation here, because it feels very off after this whole thing. Like, he's legit like, okay, he binds her up, puts her over here, hides her away. There is a sort of aspect here where technically it's not his fault, and so he can sort of disconnect himself a little bit there. But he's like, next time I'll make sure that you're not a suspect. Go into the idea of how the murderer ends up potentially being the detective. It's an overplayed thing. But he feels like he just like recovers from this way too quick and just like starts skipping out the door. Don't worry, I'm not gonna suspect you no more. Take care, Melee. It's like, dude, you recover from that way too quick. That was a little bit weird there. It could go to the idea that this guy's kind of getting really broken in the head, as we'll see as we get to later on, especially with Melee's book and just completely haunting him. He's breaking badly. But anyways, cut over to Amelia. She bumps into him, freaks out. Again, getting the idea of, how she's always looking out for him. Also, yes, of course, right here, touching a little bit more on how Amelia herself is being confused by how much she's always looking at him. Like, yeah, it's odd. I'm always catching myself watching you. It's like, this girl's so pure. This girl's like too pure. Now, it could be playing off the idea that she's feeling something off in him, and so she's subconsciously noting that, and she's finding it odd. Like, she's suspecting him and doesn't really necessarily know why. Could be going on that, but either way. Did, conveniently get into right here that Amelia is considering potentially, parting Melee in a way. Noting the fact that, yes, technically she did some horrible things a year ago. And as we see in her backstory, she's done a lot of horrible things throughout her entire life. But, a lot of that is, manipulation. Capella and, Elsa manipulate her into becoming a killer. So it's not necessarily her fault, but she is technically a murderer, a child soldier. It's the whole child soldier conundrum. Are they innocent? Are they not? That kind of thing there. But she wants to bring her out of the basement, help her, reacclimate with people. But yeah, like I said, I did find this to be a little bit convenient that this pops up and then suddenly she's so concerned for Melee, and Melee herself in Subaru's mind's going, she never cared about me before. No, technically right here she did care. Either way, yeah, Amelia is trying to console him as he's freaking out, and that's when we get a little call from Ram that apparently Beatrice found something. And they go up to the archive, and conveniently, of the billions of books up there, suddenly one popped up right there, and Beatrice saw it. This is a little bit convenient. A little bit convenient. Yeah, Beatrice just happens to spot the new book that pops up that is, in fact, Melee's book. Yeah, that was a little convenient, but at the same time, it does facilitate us kind of seeing a little more into Melee's backstory, which I really do appreciate. But yes, we go into reading the book where we find out the history, which is most of the stuff that we already knew. The fact that she was, abandoned in the forest. At some point, the mob beasts brought her in. And at some point, she just basically became the queen of the beasts. She just becomes the queen of the beasts. Until Elsa shows up and takes her off to mom. Yeah, it kind of implies that they knew about her out there and that Capella sent her specifically to go out and get her and bring her back. But yeah, the stuff around Capella herself, I don't remember if they ever insinuated that Capella was mother. It makes sense because, again, Capella is just creating mobbies like crazy, so I can see her being a mom. But yeah, this was a little bit interesting to get into seemingly why she's so fearful of mother. And that's because it shows this whole segment where she's basically breaking her, constantly turning her into different creatures and forcing her to have to feed off of other insects and other creatures, and basically saying, let me teach you how to think. This is sort of the forming of somebody from nothing to show her what to think, how to have emotions. Just always think of me. Just basically form yourself around me. And as we see with the later parts of this, that's what broke her. The fact that she never had some sort of semblance of self. It was always, think of Capella. You need emotions? Think of Capella. Grieve for me, fight back for me, live so that you can love me. Everything, again, is for me. Now, the more interesting part here is more so with Elsa. It implies as she's with Elsa, she's confused as to if she hates her or not. I can assume that is because Elsa technically brought her to suffering, that she was fine over here, and then Elsa shows up, kills her family, and then takes her and brings her to this thing that is torturing her, which is Mother. I can see her not liking her. But I think it's more getting the idea that because she was around Elsa for so long, she was learning emotions from Elsa in a skewed way. Elsa doesn't really necessarily show emotions properly either. So does she hate her? And again, as Elsa dies, is this sadness? Again, everything is just formed around these disconnected feelings and guided by people that don't know human emotions. It's like, how do you learn how to love and to hate from Capella? How do you learn how to love and hate from Elsa? It's just not going to happen. But I think the more interesting thing is that, yes, after Elsa dies and she's not sure if she's sad and not really knowing who to attach to now because Elsa's gone, who am I supposed to imitate? Subaru then enters, and that's the reason why she so badly wants to chase after him. Yes, it's partly, I think, to still keep away from Capella, but it seems like how this is playing out, this was something that she kind of wanted because potentially she knew about the archive, and she wanted to go there in order to get answers. Now, who did she want the book of? I'm assuming it's Elsa, because, again, I don't think she's going to get answers from her real parents. Now, yes, Subaru did offer that to her, but she never at any point said, yeah, I want that. I think she wanted to go see Elsa's book to see if she can learn more from Elsa. That's my assumption there, because obviously Capella's not dead yet, so she can't find Capella's book. The only book that I could think of is going to be Elsa's. Yeah, and I guess she thinks that if she reads Elsa's book, she'll get more time with her and that she can form her own opinions. She doesn't have anybody else to use as a guidepost, basically. So, but yes, as she's in there, she runs into Subaru, panics, runs away, realized that she was caught. She doesn't like to be caught. So she decided to go back in there to potentially kill him. It gave the impression that she went in there to kill him, but yeah, he finds her sneaking, says, "You're so shallow. Don't try to flirt with me. It's gross." Nobody wants that from you. Lose the nonchalant expression, little doll. Can't you hear what's really in your heart? Yeah, and again, right here, I assume that she knows a lot about Melee. And right here knows that she's a puppet, knows that she's a doll, knows that she doesn't have any true desires herself, and is seemingly opening up the door for her to take action how she wants. You know, look inside of yourself and try to find whatever desires you have and go for it. And yes, like I said before, seeing that face and how full of flavor it is and wanting to take all of her burdens from her, which leads into her eventually coming back and saying what you said yesterday. I'm wondering how serious I should take that. Now, the question mark here is that as she goes back to Subaru, and again, it seems like asking about that triggers them to come back to the forefront again. What was the goal here? What were they saying here? It seems to imply that, you know, when they came to them and said, I want to see how serious you are, they're like, another room, and at that point says, you were too direct or whatever. Asking that directly is against the rules. Like, I want to take those burdens from you, and I'm willing to do that, but don't come to me asking for it. I choose when to take it or something like that. Not that I'm going to expect this to be like super clear. There is an oddity here about the way they're acting, but still it's like, what was the goal here? In the end, as we see, it's because they're trying to create this weird like narrative. In the end, she's going to serve the role as being a part of this Subaru murder mystery. They want her to be the next victim that's going to be of Subaru. They're going to hide it, and then everybody's going to be looking for the murderer and all that kind of stuff, and they know who the actual murderer is. Like, they're totally manipulating everybody in this building. At the same time, seemingly trying to break Subaru. They took his memories away, and now they're just effing with him right now. And yeah, as we see, they're doing a really good job of it because he's going nuts. He's going nuts. He's now got Melee's memories inside of him. He's got the guilt of killing her. She's constantly whispering in his ear. He's having an identity crisis with her and himself. The entire time he's got a murderer inside of his ear that's saying, you know, murder gets easier the more that you do it. It becomes a habit. You can just kill her and then find her book, right? It's like they're completely breaking his brain, and I love it. I love this stuff, by the way. I do find it sad, though, because technically at the later part, as Melee is being killed, the assumption would be the narration of her mind. That he's reading this book that is her experiences, and in the book itself, it's talking about what did she accomplish in the end? She was back at the forest, she did all this stuff, she went through all these pains and sufferings, only to come here and die. It's a tragic end to her story. This should be her mind. And in her mind, she feels like she accomplished nothing. She had nothing but suffering and accomplished nothing in the end, which really sucks. We need a reset. Subaru, we need a reset. Anyways, yes, Subaru gets pulled out of it. They talk about the whole aspect of mixing once again. Again, we see that and the fact that now he's got Melee in his mind all the time. Julius and Anastasia show up. Subaru doesn't want to tell him what he's seen for obvious reasons. And again, I like this, right? They're all going off to try to find her. Even though they know that she's dead, they still want to find her. And then right here, Shala speaks up. Hey, Master, do you want me to look for her? Or possibly? And Melee in his mind picks it up. I think she knows what happened. Don't worry. I get it. I'll handle it. She probably went and ate her body. Again, I'm assuming that she's like a scorpion mobby. She probably went in there and just ate Melee. Just went over there and just consumed the body. Get rid of the body. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. I mean, there's a chance that Ram found the body and was waiting for somebody to admit it, but I don't think so. I think Ram would have said something by now. But again, this is the point where we see that where he's trying to struggle over why people love him so much and want to take care of him, cover for him murdering people. That's crazy. And even later on, when Beatrice sees the hand, oh crap, she sees the scars, and she just heals it. Like, she didn't even suspect anything. Oh, you did this again. Let me heal it. It's realizing that this Subaru that I've forgotten has done a lot for these people. And even though I'm constantly suspecting them. But again, I do like the fact that right here is like, do they actually care for me? Can I trust them? Are they really on my side? And Melee's in the background going, well, just kill them and then you can find out. Yeah, just kill them and you can read their book. And right here, oh crap, she's coming after you. You could just kill her. No, this is so boring. Just kill her to see why she likes you so much. Again, murder is a habit. It's a scary thought. I mean, it makes sense, the idea that, yes, the first time you kill in order to cover up something, it makes it easier the next time. Oh, yeah, another problem arises. I covered up the last one. I'll just do it again. And it kind of implies that later on with Ram showing up. Oh, just kill her. That'll fix everything. But yeah, wrap up the episode with the meeting where they decide they want to push forward. Anastasia only has so much time left, and they know Melee's dead. They can't just keep looking. I like the fact that, yes, Subaru at some point says, yeah, we should probably move on. Melee would want that. Melee's like right up in his face, like, you're so good at this. You're the best. You don't even believe that yourself, but you said it so confidently. It's so twisted. That portrayal of the, like, guilt there is really good. But yeah, he goes to find the body, and Ram shows up and calls him a fake. Sneaking around looking for something, you fake. I think the next episode is probably going to open up with him. This is going to be stupid. Stupidly going over there thinking that he's going to be able to take out Ram, which he might potentially have the thought that he can do that just because he doesn't know what Ram's capable of. He hasn't seen, from what I suspect, he hasn't seen Ram fight. So he might think that he can trick her and then strangle her. And then at that point, she's going to get the upper hand. And then I think Shao's going to show up and potentially kill Ram. And then that's going to turn into this big battle going on in the actual tower. And he's going to end up killed somehow. That's what I think is going to happen. Or at least he's going to be overcome by regret over causing them to kill each other. And he's going to want to take himself out. Something like that is where I'm kind of seeing this going. But either way, I'm hoping that at some point during this scuffle, it's going to finally click for him what's going on. Or at least maybe Rui herself is going to make an appearance and say, you know, again, I'm suspecting that she might be possibly in Rem right now. With Rem showing up at some point and saying figuring out hero or something like that, I'm thinking that she's been sort of incubating inside of Rem. Because we've seen with the last season that she personified Rem's memories. So she has those inside of her, but I think she's been hiding inside of Rem this entire time, and that's how she got there with them. But we'll see. I think that Rem's going to show up at some point and probably have potentially a conversation about that whole thing. But we'll see. We'll see. I think this whole thing, to get sort of into my theories on why we're doing this. Because technically you can assume that if Rui wanted them all dead, she could just have them killed. I think she's doing all this because she's looked into his mind, knows that he can return by death, and so she's trying to break him mentally. I can't kill you because you'll just reset. So I need to break you mentally, and that will solve all my problems. Because I can't kill you physically. That kind of thing. But anywho, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the episode. Again, as usual, if you're a source material reader, I don't need answers to all my speculation. I'm just having fun here. Just enjoy my crazy speculations. But until next time, you'll take care.